welcome back to the Nurse Nook. Today is a really exciting video. I'm here with Fatima.
Hey guys.
If you don't know, she is also another YouTuber. She is a family nurse practitioner. She just graduated with her FNP. She was an ICU nurse before that. We've actually done a video in the past, like almost like a year ago? Almost? No, because it was like
almost
a year ago. Way back when, and we are back with another video for you guys. We just linked up for a conference that we did together and a meetup that we did, which was so much fun.
Yes.
So we decided to film a video for you guys. This video is going to be all about dating as a nurse. Because I get so many relationship questions, I feel like I just wanted to dedicate a video to it. So I asked y'all on my Instagram to submit your questions, and so I'm going to be going through the most popular questions and answer that for you. One of the biggest questions I get is about my relationship status, and everybody is so interested to know about my relationship status. And I'm so sorry to tell you guys that I will not be touching on my personal relationship life, because I will keep y'all guessing, keep it interested, keep it juicy.
Yes.
Keep you guys coming back for
wondering.
more. But I will definitely get really personal, and these questions is probably going to be my most personal video ever. And try to give y'all as much as the tea as I can. So let's jump into the questions. Cheers. This is a question I actually got a lot on here. Would you ever date a doctor?
Oh my gosh, that's a frequently asked question.
Everybody always asks that question. Would you date a doctor? Would you date a doctor?
Well, I've dated one. Have you?
No.
Okay, so I've dated one. I've dated like two, but would I date one again? No. They're canceled. Like, doctors are canceled for me. Like, it's just...
Yeah,
I don't want to say like I would never date one, but it's not like my first choice. It's like you would have to really be checked off every other thing that I want, and then if you're a doctor, it's like, okay, I'll work with that, but it's like not like I'm automatically looking for doctors. Like it's a hype. Like, people think it's I'm a nurse and a doctor, like it's the thing, but
So I'm not gonna say I would never date a doctor, just because you never know what God's plan is for you. However, like Fatima said, it is like a big hype about like, oh my God, like are you dating doctors?
Like,
there's
like
doctors all around.
Like,
like marry a doctor. It's really all not that hyped up. Like, I don't want to generalize, but from my experience, doctors can be a little bit cocky.
Yes.
I feel like, and they know that like, oh, I'm a doctor.
Yes.
It's like everybody wants to date you.
Yes, that's the thing.
Actually, sis, no, everybody does not want to date you.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of like turned me away. It's like, because they know like, oh, I can get any girl. Like, they're just used to having women come up to them because, you know, girls look at that like, oh, he's a doctor, he's educated, he has money. Like, to some girls, that's like, oh my gosh, that's a trophy man. But yeah, to us, it's kind of like, okay, you need to be doing more than just having titles and money, because that's not
titles and money for sure. And then I also feel like doctors work so often, and a lot of times they're really stressed out, and I don't want to be with somebody that I never see, and somebody that is constantly stressed and always having to come in to work and on call and receiving, I don't know. It's just, it's nice to date somebody in a different field than you are, because then you have different things to talk about.
Yes, and you're like, oh, you're like in the medical field, and you just want to talk about the medical stuff, and they have something else to bring to you, so it's just different conversation. So I think we both can agree on that. Like, if we could get other fields, and we usually date outside of the medical field, right? Like, we have been, so
I don't think I've actually dated anyone.
Yeah, I think the only medical field I've dated was the doctor, but yeah,
just the two doctors. So to kind of piggyback off that question, people want to know, would I date a nurse? And I'm not gonna say kind of, it's a totally different thing. From my experience, again, I have seen a lot of non-faithful male nurses. I don't know what it is. I think because one, nursing is a predominantly female dominated career, and so men thrown into that are surrounded by women everywhere. Like, I think there's only like 1 or 2 male nurses that I work with on night shift, and then it's like 50 women. So they are around all these women, and you know, you're spending like 13 hours around these women, and you're the only man around, and people get tired of being around estrogen, so you know, they kind of try to make friends with the male nurse. And a lot of times, like, that leads to infidelity. But outside of that, I'm not opposed to it. If I met a male nurse that was like awesome and, you know, checked all my boxes, who am I to say no to God's blessing? You know? But it's definitely not something that I would like seek out and like want to be with it. I think it's just like, oh, it's so cute, a nurse,
I know,
thing. But
yeah, I agree. It's not my first choice either. I've never dated a male nurse, and I just would like something different. Like, I don't want to date somebody that's doing the same thing that I do. We're in the same field. You know, we have the same type of stressors. Like, I want somebody that I can come home to, that I can just vent. Oh, so-and-so went on in the clinic. Let me tell you about it. And, you know, they don't necessarily know what's going on, but it's just different. I just want different conversations. So probably not. I probably wouldn't date a nurse. Yeah. Like, again, like she said, I wouldn't never say never. Like, if a nurse tried to talk to me, I'd be like, nope, you're a nurse. Like, but it's not my first choice. So
yeah, for sure. Also, we're going to be doing a part 2 to this Q&A on Fatima's channel, so definitely when you're done watching this video, go down to the description box below to watch hers, because we're going to be also spilling
so we need to
some
save
more
our,
tea.
we need to save our little wine for the second video.
So the question I got is, who pays on the date? We were actually talking about this before we started filming. I feel like whoever invites the other person on a date should be paying for the date. But I also feel like we are both really successful women, and we make our own money, and we can pretty much afford it. So it's not so much of like I want you to pay, because I can't. I feel like it's a nice gesture for men to pay, because I'm very traditional with my views on like relationship, and I feel like I want to be with a man that can take care of me if I ever needed to, because I can take care of myself, but you never know what if something happens and I can't take care of myself. Like, I want to feel like you can take care of me too. But I'm definitely not opposed to paying, especially if I invite you out somewhere. I definitely have paid before, and I don't have a problem paying. But it is nice for at least like the first couple times for the man to.
It's the same. I feel like whoever invites whoever, like, you know, if I'm like, hey, let's go out to dinner or something, I don't mind paying or putting my card down, or if I want to treat him, then, you know, let's go, or I'll take you on a nice date. So just a nice balance. Like, we're not the type to be like, oh no, the man needs to pay for everything, because I don't know, just like, for what? Like, I like treating men too. So
exactly, the right man,
the right man.
You can't be out here just taking care of everybody.
Okay,
because they will start taking advantage of you. How often do you go out on a date or out to dinner, being so busy as a nurse? We're trying to get into my personal life here. How many days a week? How many are we talking? So I am all about work-life balance. Like, truly. Look at the biscuit. It's so handsome. I wish you guys can see, but I don't want to mess up the camera setup. So I'm all about work-life balance, and I am a huge believer that you need to enjoy yourself outside of work and care for yourself and have a social life outside of work to be the best that you can be at work. Because sometimes people get so caught up in like, I need to be successful, I need to work, I need to constantly be studying, or this and that, and that's how you burn out really quickly, by not taking care of yourself. So I really truly take care of myself on my days off, whether that be being social, going out on a date just for like some chit chat outside of the nursing world, and where I don't have to talk about work or think about work, and just to really just let go and enjoy myself. So I try to be social as often as possible. Again, as a nurse, I only work 3 days a week or 3 nights a week, so that leaves me a lot of free time outside of YouTube, because YouTube is almost like a full-time job. It really is a lot of work. So on days that I'm not working, I try to work on YouTube stuff, but then I try to enjoy myself when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. So I would say like frequently on social.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to kind of fit it in. I think a lot of people say, oh, it's so hard to date, like, or it's so hard to date when you're in school or you're a busy woman, but you make time for what you want. So if you enjoy this person, or if it's like your boyfriend or your husband, you know, whatever level you're at, you can make time for it. Like, we have different schedules, so she does a 3/12s, I'm more of like in the office setting, but I still have my weekends off, so you just make time for it. Like, if I enjoy you, if you're part of my self-care, if you distract me, you get me away from it, then you can fit it in. I don't think it's something that's impossible to do. A lot of people say, oh, you're busy, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you don't have time to go out, but if you make time for it, then it's definitely achievable, and it can be healthy and just to get your mind off of things. So you can make time for it, you know, like.
This is also a good question. Do you tell guys about your social media, or do they just find out you're an influencer? That's a good question.
It depends how we met. So if you find me on Instagram and like we met through there, or we met at an event, because you know we do nursing type events, and sometimes like we meet other guys there. So if they know that we're in the media or doing things like that, then obviously you already know from Instagram. But if I just met you like outside or in person, then I won't automatically start off and say, hey, yeah, I do YouTube, or I'm like
look at all my followers,
look at my
what I
followers. Yeah,
do.
because I feel like that kind of scares men away.
Yeah,
it's like they may think that you have like a whole bunch of guys on you, and they're like, oh, they may not take you seriously because they're like, oh, she's just dating, like she has a whole bunch of men, she has a K behind her follower count. So I don't. If I like to meet people like one-on-one before you look at my social media, before you look at my channel or my videos, and I want to meet you like in person if it's possible.
Because it can go either way. Like, guys could either be really scared off from that, or either like almost like try to
cloud
use you.
chase.
Yeah.
Yes, they might try to like, oh, post me.
Yeah.
So
no. No thanks. Yeah, but I agree. It's not something that I start off with, like, oh, hey, I have this.
Yeah.
But it's also like a huge part of my life. Like, that's also my second career. So when people ask me what I do,
yes,
like I say, like, oh, I'm a pediatric ER nurse, but then I also have a like a social media platform or a blog.
Yeah, because if they're not accepting of it, then I mean,
that's
the
thing.
Like, it's part
that's
of your
the thing.
thing,
like, it's either something you can handle and deal with or not. So I feel like that's something important to bring up initially, because again, like, some men get really intimidated with that. They see, or then in another view of it, a lot of times, like, people think like you're gonna be stuck up, or they see that you have this and they automatically think like, oh my god, like, this girl is gonna be like, expect all of this, she has men after her all the time, like, I'm not going to compete with that, or I don't want to deal with that. And so it's definitely, we can't be with a weak person. Like, it's a lot to deal with. Like, we get a lot of attention, not only in social media, like out in public too. Like, I have been out and I was with somebody else, and then they recognized me, and it can be uncomfortable for some people, so like if you're with somebody and people are coming up to them and like, oh my god, can I take a picture with you, or are you like this person? So you have to be really secure.
I had a similar situation. I had like a similar situation, like with dating. Like, you know, he kind of was introduced to my whole social media like very soon, because I was doing Vlogmas. You know what Vlogmas is, right? So it's like when you vlog every day during Christmas. So I was vlogging every day, and I was out with friends and stuff, and he came along, and, you know, I'm vlogging what we're doing because it's part of Vlogmas, and, you know, he got to see like, oh my gosh, she's on camera every day. But then after that, you know, we started going out like outside of that, and he's like, oh, okay, well, it's not all about social media. Like, this is her job. Like, yes, I'm out, but I'm also filming, I'm creating content. So you know, and
I'm also like a real person. I have a life outside of just being on social media. I think the hardest thing is just like kind of like getting over that stigma that we are a certain way, that we're gonna be stuck up,
or like this is all that we are, or something.
I've actually had somebody tell me before, like, when I said like, oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel, they immediately like rolled their eyes, and they're like, like, what do you like? What do you do? Like, get readies with me and show people how to put on makeup? And I was like,
in the hospital.
Actually,
like somebody started that in the hospital.
No, not in the hospital setting, but like it was somebody like this.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, actually, like, I do educational videos,
right?
And they were like, oh, like,
yeah,
you got me. like, don't assume what I do. Like, yeah, I do that too, but like, it's more than that. Like, we are role models for younger women.
Like, we try to be as positive as we can, like, on our
I try to be a positive.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, let me
not
watch
just
her
about,
and
look at my outfit today, and like, this is how much
Exactly.
money I spent on my shoes, kind of thing. It's a lot more than that. It's a lot deeper than that.
Exactly.
And a lot of good comes from it.
Yeah.
Like, we are going around the country, like, speaking at events and meeting people that we, like, a community that we created through just filming ourselves on camera. Opinions about dating coworkers. That's kind of different than like, just dating a doctor and nurse. Be careful. That's what I'm gonna say. That could be a really sticky situation. I feel like if you're gonna date somebody at work, you better make sure that's gonna be like somebody that you date for a long time. Because if not,
or keep it quiet.
Yes,
Like, not the rest of the unit has to know. Like, just. But know that you're kind of getting into, because realize it, like, you know, if you're out and you meet somebody that's not at work and things don't work out, then you don't have to see them anymore. But somebody that you work with, or even if they're on another unit, you may still run into them and stuff. So it's like, you have to know, like, all right, you're kind of playing with fire. But I understand, like, a lot of people meet their significant others at work because they're at work all the time. I know
a lot of people that
when I used to work in the ICU, we had 2 nurses in our unit that were dating, and like, everybody knew about it, but they actually got married and everything. So, you know, it's like, don't talk about it too soon if you want to do it on the low, but that's on you.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Because then people may run their mouth and it may get around to everybody.
And it's gonna rumors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the good thing about nursing, though, I would say, is a lot of people tend to switch jobs a lot. So you can end up just like, your partner can move a unit, you can move a unit. Like, nursing is very like, people switch so much. So it's kind of in a good way, because then if something wrong does happen, you
it's like done.
But yeah, definitely be careful, because especially if people start finding out, like, everybody has their opinions about things, and people are going to start talking, and I feel like that could add like a lot of unnecessary drama
at work. Like,
in your life. Yeah, because when you date somebody outside of work, a lot of people don't know that person or aren't in their face. So when you're like dating at work, it's like, it's just a whole
and they're
nother,
just there.
Yeah.
And it's a different setting, because I'm different at work than how I am outside of work.
Absolutely.
So it's like, now you're seeing me like at work, and then I don't know.
And I'm scared to see you too much. Like, what if I get tired of you? Like, dang, I just saw you at home and now you're here too? I can't get away from you. Because I definitely do appreciate like my alone time away from my partner. So that would also be like a big one. But if you find your soulmate at work, like,
go for it.
Do it, girl. Someone asked, are you more selective on who you date because of your career? She also said, I feel this way, but it's also lonely. So this is something we wrote, we were just talking about too, about how we feel like our dating pool has kind of like decreased because when you're a successful woman, like, you also want to be with a successful man. You want to be with somebody that's going to motivate you to keep going
and understand where you're at in life,
and that, you know, that you're putting in work all the time. Like, if you're not at work, like, we're
like, I didn't just
something.
pop up here, like, no, it took effort. Like, I was in school for this long, I'm working these hours, I don't just automatically have all this money. Like, no, we worked for it. So we want somebody that understands that, is on that same grind, like, has that mentality, ambitious, wants to go up there. So yeah, we definitely are more selective because of our career. Because I feel like if I, you know, didn't have this career, or had something, I don't want to say less than, but you know what I mean? Like, if I was doing something that maybe would match up somebody else, then it wouldn't be such an issue. But knowing that we put in so much blood, sweat, and tears for this career, like, we want somebody that's doing the same in their field.
Exactly.
That can relate to us.
Like, we just want someone to match our energy. Like, I don't think so much as that I need you to make more money than
definitely.
me, or
It's
I
not
need
even
you to be
about
like
that.
a CEO. I just want to be with somebody that's like-minded and chasing after their dreams like we are.
And we kind of talked about that too. Like, it's not career-wise as in, oh, I have a master's, so I want you to have a master's, or I make so-and-so amount a year, I want you to make either that or more. To me, it's really not about that at all. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a degree less than me, like a bachelor's or an associate's, or no degree, but as long as you're elevating. You're trying to do something that ambitious. The ambition shows, then that's, you know, that's more of like our style.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the last question before we get into part 2 of this series on Fatima's channel is, do you find that it's hard to be in a relationship as a nurse/nurse entrepreneur?
It's kind of going back to you make what you want out of it. Like, it's not hard. It just depends. Like, if you have somebody that's supporting you, they're supporting your dreams, your business goals, they're motivating you, then no, it's not hard. But if you're out here dating an F-boy that's just like dragging you and stressing you out, like, then yes, it is going to be hard. So that's just a simple, basic answer.
It really like ties into everything we just answered. I feel like, one, like, we want to be with somebody, like, our dating pool is smaller because we want to be with somebody that is like-minded and chasing after their goals. And not everybody's like that. Like, a lot of people in our generation can be very lazy and like expect things to come to them,
especially like younger
guys. Yeah, that's the thing, especially in our age, because they're both very young and we're both successful at such a young age. Men in our age group necessarily aren't really
they're not
doing
there yet.
everything that we're doing, because women mature faster to begin with. And on top of that, like, we're both like educated women, and we want to be with somebody like us or similar to us. So it can be a little bit difficult just to finding that person to begin with. And two, like, we can be very busy too, so finding
somebody that we're willing to make time for.
Because my time is very sacred. So if I'm spending my time with you, like, that's huge. That's huge. And sometimes when I can't,
it has to be like worth it.
Yeah, because I work night shift, so it's hard a lot. Like, I sleep on during hours where everyone else is awake, and during the day, and when you're sleeping, like, I'm awake, kind of thing. So it can be difficult, but again, like, you have to be somebody that is really worth it, and somebody that understands, and not somebody that's gonna get mad if
you can't.
If I can't.
Yeah, if you have a paper to write, or you
make it, or if I'm sleeping, if I need to sleep, because sleep is important too. We were just talking about earlier how sometimes working night shifts, like, I rarely sleep because I don't like to miss out on things during the day. So I kind of like sacrifice my sleep so that I can experience things. And sometimes, like, you know, that can really take a toll on you and be unhealthy. But again, you just have to be worth it.
You make that sacrifice if it's someone you want.
You can really make it work. You just have to want to make it work. Because not everybody is worth making it work. Yeah. And that's tea.
Not everyone is worth the effort.
Yes. Say that again for the people in the back. That is the end of this Q&A. Again, don't forget to watch Fatima's video. It's going to be linked down below. Part 2. We're going to be answering some more questions. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.